According to various reports, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has a record amount of money to put to work. The company's cash pile hit new heights at $149.2 billion of funds during the third quarter of this year. Warren Buffett is not buying stocks and is focusing on holding cash. Why is he doing that? What's up guys, welcome back to Glory Investing Show. In our today's video, I'm going to tell you about why Warren isn't buying stocks and holding cash. According to a report published by Bloomberg on November 6th of this year, the fresh high came even as Buffett poured more money into buying back its own stocks with $7.6 billion of repurchases in the period, the third highest tally since the board changed its policy on buybacks in 2018. Let me tell you that Warren has struggled with a high-class problem of having too much money in Berkshire Hathaway's pockets and not enough chances to put that to work in higher-returning assets. Since there were no major deals made during the recent quarters, the chief executive officer of Berkshire Hathaway has reportedly turned to buybacks as one way to deploy the cash deluge. However, the problem is that the heightened level of buybacks during the last quarter was not still enough to keep the coffers of Berkshire Hathaway from swelling. We all know that we are facing supply chain pressures. Well, Berkshire Hathaway generated record earnings even during these times. Warren Buffett's company warned that several of their businesses experienced higher materials, freight, and other input costs attributable to ongoing disruptions in worldwide supply chains. The successful investor has warned people not to gamble on stocks. Let me tell you that MarketWatch published a report on May 1st of this year stating that Warren has warned investors not to think investing is easy to get rich. He said this while answering questions at an annual meeting of Berkshire Hathaway. In fact, he said that it can be tough for people to pick the long-term winners. The report states, he pointed out that in 1903, there were more than 2,000 car companies and nearly all of them failed even though cars have transformed the country since then. Buffett states, there's a lot more to picking stocks and figuring out what will be an incredible industry in the future. I just want to tell you that it's not as easy as it sounds. You might also want to know that he believes that most people who invested in GameStop are essentially gambling. Moreover, he believes that free stock trading platforms such as Robinhood are encouraging that gambling. Next, we will discuss the exact reason why Warren is not buying more stocks. However, before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to Glory Investing Show and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss any updates. Oh yeah, and just to let you guys know, if you would like to buy some awesome trading merch, check out our website. There's a ton of different things you can purchase. You can also use the code ADDICT at the checkout if you want to receive a discount. Now, let's continue.
I came in at a time when people were particularly critical of the institution and to some extent the...
We all know that this man became a billionaire by buying and holding stocks. Well, there's one simple reason why he is not buying stocks right now. You might think that this reason is that Berkshire Hathaway does not have enough cash at its disposal. However, this is not the reason. In fact, the company ended the second quarter of this year with a cash stockpile totaling $140.7 billion. This includes cash, cash equivalents, and short-term investments. At the end of the second quarter of this year, Berkshire invested in 3 stocks only. These include Aon, Kroger, and RH. Moreover, the company reported a new position in Organon, so he is focusing on having more cash and fewer stocks. This guy is a value investor at heart. For those who don't know, his mentor was Benjamin Graham, who happens to be the father of value investing. During his career, Warren drifted away from a purist focus on stock valuations. However, experts believe that he is still a value investor at heart. A report published by The Motley Fool on October 17th of this year shows a graph which shows the cyclically adjusted price to earnings for the S&P 500 index over the last 6 years. Let me tell you that the cyclically adjusted price to earnings metric shows the price of the S&P index divided by the average earnings over the last 10 years, adjusted for inflation. The Motley Fool's report states, right now, the S&P 500's valuation is at its second highest level that Buffett has seen since he took over Berkshire Hathaway. The only time the CAPE for the index was higher was during the period leading up to and shortly after 2000. During that time, the market valuation reached a lofty level and stocks plunged. And then the S&P 500 was able to fully bounce back after 7 years. Experts say that Warren Buffett is currently watching the overall market valuation and he is well aware that investing in stocks is never a good idea when stocks are really expensive. Now, I would say that Warren Buffett's cautious approach makes sense. The billionaire investor said that 85% of the economy is currently in super high gear. He said that investors are seeing inflation and they have responded in an incredible way. Moreover, Buffett stated that he does not regret selling off his company's stake in all the major airlines. It is important to note that Berkshire Hathaway sold off its $6 billion stake in these airline companies, whose stocks later grew significantly.
Years ago, called The Biography of a Bank, and it's got an amazing history.
Well, Warren Buffett is doing two things right now that other investors in the market should consider. The first one is that Warren has built a massive cash stockpile. The second thing is that he is still purchasing more stocks, but is much more judicious in doing so than in the past. A report published by the Motley Fool states, the more frothy valuations become, the more cash investors should accumulate and the more selective they should be about using that cash to buy stocks. Now, let's talk about the importance of holding cash. We all know that it can be tempting to invest all your cash in stocks during a bull market. Well, the returns of the S&P 500 increased over 75% between March 2020 and February 2021. This makes investors want to avoid cash in favor of stocks. Moreover, this urge will surely be heightened by the low returns currently available on cash savings. However, I would say that cash could currently be an underrated asset to hold. A bear market is likely in the future, and this could mean that a cash pile could help you make efficient use of capital in the long run. It is important to note that a report published by Yahoo Finance on February 9th of this year states, having a large cash pile at the moment could mean missing out on further stocks market growth in the short run. Investor sentiment is strong, while the economy is forecast to grow 3.1% in the current year. This may catalyze stock valuations so that being fully invested in equity markets is a more profitable play compared to holding cash for a limited amount of time. However, the current bull market is very unlikely to last forever. The S&P 500's track record shows that every bull market has ultimately been followed by a bear market. You might also want to note that Warren has said that disruptions in the global supply chain have kept a lid on the company's ability to generate profit. And at the same time, the rising equity prices caused Berkshire Hathaway to sell some stock and boost its cash. Recent reports have revealed that the company bought back $7.6 billion worth of its own stock during the third quarter of this year, which reflects the company's need to deploy cash as stock markets set new highs and purchases of whole companies appear too expensive.
Have to do better.
Well, that would be all for our today's video, and thanks for watching it. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you have not already subscribed to Global Investing Show, subscribe to it and press that bell button so you will be notified each time we upload an interesting video of this channel. And while you're here, click to watch one of these two videos that are appearing on your screen. We'll see you there. Take care and stay tuned.